Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Melanin Meetings. You already know if I'm hosting, then it's about to be the bomb, okay? So we're going to have a little fun. We're going to do something different. We're going to just play a game. Basically, we're going to ask each other questions, and then we're each going to answer them. So the questions are different scenarios. They're this or that questions. They're what if questions. So hopefully it's going to get very interesting. So I'm going to kick it all off, of course.
And
so
hopefully we're all friends after this.
What was that?
And hopefully we're all friends after this. We're still friends.
We were friends to begin with, honey. Okay.
Oh, anyway. Well.
So my first question is, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to ask the question and then I want to answer it before I give the floor to the ladies. Okay. So the first question is, would you rather know your future or change the past? My answer to that would be, I would rather change the past, because changing the past would hopefully kind of clear the path for a better future. That's my answer. Genesis?
Good one. I would rather know my future, because I feel that my past has shaped me to be who I am. So I would like to know what lies ahead as part of this new person that I am. So yeah, I'd rather know my future.
That's a nice one. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take it from a kind of different angle. I'm going to say none of the above.
Okay.
Why do I say that? Because first of all, knowing your past and then wanting to change the past might, alter your future. Let's not forget, one thing may affect the other, as they call it, a domino effect. So for me, you have to be careful. Okay, you want to go back in time, maybe change a certain event that happened in your life, but then you might ask yourself, how can that affect my future? Would I be, like Jen said, would I be the woman that I am today? Would I be married to the man that I married today? Would I be living the life that I'm living today? So it's a tricky one. So for me, I'd rather just leave that to God and none of the above.
On the fence. Okay.
Trust all get to be all like philosophical. I can't even say the word. Okay, Miss Philosophy. Philosophical. Okay.
Interesting. Good take though. Good take.
No, yeah, it really is. It really is. So, Olga always goes in depth. So
yeah. So expect her to be deep now on this game.
Exactly.
She's going all deep on us.
If we are who we are today, look, it was because of our past, and it's meant to be. Let's not mess with, let's not play God. That's me.
Okay, ma'am. No worries, ma'am. The second question is, would you rather have more time or more money? Me, I would say I would rather have more time, because within the time, obviously, I can make money. Hey, I'll take it away. What would you rather have, more time or more money?
Definitely more time, as you said, Crystal. Like I always say, money comes and go. Like how many people you've learned. I think I was watching a documentary with my husband. He's big into the documentary about people who have won the lottery, and today they're homeless. So do you know what I mean? So if you have the time, you could always make the money. And, so for me, definitely, I would say time.
Jen?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you guys. More time. I'm one that loves spending time with people. I love creating memories. So, and like you said, more time, you got to make more money. So, yeah, I'm definitely a more time girl.
Woohoo! We finally agree on something, including Olga.
Once. What's that supposed to
The
be?
next question is, if you could relive one moment in your life, what would that moment be and why? I would love to relive and keep on reliving the day I gave birth to my son. Aww. Because for me, that was the happiest moment of my life. So I know some people might think, girl, you crazy because you were in pain and you were in this and that. But to be honest, all of that pain was worth it. And I would go through it again and again just to hold my son the way I did and just to feel how I felt. So that's the moment that I would relive. Genesis.
Oh, that's so making me so emotional.
She is a Sophie after all. She does have a soul.
I'm not always gangster, okay?
Do you know what? That's a hard one because I have loads of moments that I'd love to relive. But I think for me, it'd be a bit similar to Crystal's, but it would be when seeing both my firstborn and my husband with our lastborn, and just seeing the three of them together because obviously my husband got to meet his son first and then he got to meet his little brother, but just seeing the three of them together, it just melted my heart. And I think at that stage, Amaziah realized I'm not the only one here anymore.
No.
It was just so full of excitement. And then obviously seeing Daddy with his boys as well. And then just being grateful of being able to give them that. So yeah,
that's
being
so
able
sweet.
to just that moment, 100%, yeah, I'd live that again. Oh, got tears.
Who's cutting onions?
Go on, Olga.
Go on, Olga.
For me, it's very personal, so don't want to share what I'm thinking of, but there is one moment that I would want to relive, and that would be, it's probably something typical that I would say is my wedding day, because I feel like I should have spent more time enjoying it rather than worrying. Obviously, I did enjoy it, but it was only kind of, to be honest, towards the end of the wedding and of so for me, I'd like to relive that and just not care and just enjoy it. So my wedding day, definitely. Spend less time stressing. There we go.
That's lovely, girls. That's so lovely. My final question is, if you could keep one memory of us, what would that memory be and why?
Portugal!
For me,
sorry,
yes,
I'm not allowed to say. Sorry, secret. Sorry. We made
for me, it has to do with Portugal. The very moment that I will always keep is when we sat around our table at the apartment that we had, and we all had a heart-to-heart. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
We all shared what we had to share as sisters. We all advised each other. I remember we cried, we hugged,
there was
we laughed.
People.
For me, that was a very I think it's a moment that I will never ever forget, because we all shared intimate things that has obviously stayed between us, but it's the first time that we have actually ever gotten together and been so open with each other. So for me, that's one of the best moments that I will always keep with me of us. So yeah, and it happened in Portugal.
What happened in Portugal stays in Portugal.
Stays in Portugal.
Yes, stays in Portugal.
Go on, Olga. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I think it was the first time that we really got to spend time together, where it was just us and we got to talk and to share and just to have a great time. You know, all those memories that we had in Portugal, I'll never forget that. So definitely Portugal for me.
Jen?
Yeah, I agree. Portugal was the best time we've ever had together. And that moment that Crystal called out would be my favorite too, because it was the moment that we were just so vulnerable with one another, without judgment, without criticism, and we were able to be open and honest with one another. We often hear a lot said that, oh, girls can't be friends, girls can't work together, whatever the case is. But the friendship that we have and that moment that we had together basically cast down all of what is said about girls being friends and whatever the case is. Like, listen, our friendship we're not a friend, it's a sisterhood. That's literally what it is, sisterhood.
Yeah.
So
we have our moments, but like all sisters fight, they laugh, yes. They curse at each other. It's normal. So
yeah. So that moment of being able to be vulnerable with one another, like Krista said, we cried, we laughed, we prayed for one another, and just being able to just support and be there for one another. So that, hands down, my favorite moment.
Yay! Love you. Just to add to Portugal, by the way, Sarah, if you're watching, we love you. Another key moment that I will never forget is going down that slide in Portugal with Sarah over 1,000 times.
And let's not forget, Olga almost drowned, and the girls were just standing there clapping. Yeah. And then they realized actually
Sarah managed to get me on that slide. Yeah, it just had to be Sarah because So yeah, shout out to you, Sarah. Well, yeah, Portugal was lit. It was lit. Yeah. And that's all the questions I have. So who's next? Go.
Right.
Go.
I'll go next.
Who's next?
Who's next? Okay, right. So here we go. Question number 1. Your father and your husband are having a disagreement. Okay. Your husband says, let's go home. Your father says, sit your ass down. Who you listening to?
Crystal's dying to answer this. Go on, Crystal.
Go.
I ain't listening to nobody, okay?
I knew that's what she was going to say.
That's a hard one. But if I had to answer in all honesty, I would listen to my husband. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dad. I would listen to my husband because, Paolo, But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just it makes sense, that's who I sleep with, that's who I wake up with, to take us out of that situation, I would just leave with my husband, and then, no soigner, I'm with my dad, and my dad will understand, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I am with Crystal on that, because at the end of the day, I'm going home with my husband. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't live with you anymore, Dad, so see you later, So yeah, I would go with my husband 100%.
Yeah, no, I agree. Me too. I'm walking out with my husband. Dad, I'll see you later.
Later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, call me. We'll talk. Okay, question number 2. Would you, now this is interesting considering we've all been through this, okay? So I want you guys to take away the fact that you've already been through it, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather a private proposal, so just the two of yous, or a public one, including family and friends? I would say I would rather a private proposal. And the reason why I say that is because knowing my husband, I know that he would want to do something that would symbolize or something that would reflect us and it would be meaningful to us. And I'm not saying that, we can't do that in front of family and friends, but when you have family and friends and they're all hype and they're all excited, you don't necessarily get to enjoy the moment as much. And I would want to be able to enjoy the little details and stuff like that he probably would have thought about and put in. So that's why I prefer a private proposal. And then we can go to the family and do all the hype and nonsense. So that's my thought. Olga.
I think I agree with you, Jen, as well. But then on the other hand, it's like, okay, if we're going to have a public proposal, I'm going to give advice to the men, is you need to be sure that this is what this woman wants, that she wants to be proposed to. Because we've seen on the internet and we've seen situations where a man will plan a big proposal, public proposal, and the woman refuses. So it's kind of risky as well. So you have to know that, that you've had these conversations, and as a man that that, okay, if I do propose in public, this is going to be the outcome. But if you're not sure, for me personally, I would rather a private one because of the reasons that Jen gave. And, it's just a private, intimate thing between us. But just me giving advice to men who want to propose publicly, you need to be sure that the answer is going to be yes. So you don't make a fool of yourself in public. But to answer Jen's question, for me, I would rather private.
Okay, interesting. Crystal.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather private. Also, it's in Sonia. So it's like public. So it's in Sony, no so. This is a private. It's in no day. It can be quietly. You get me? But yeah, I'm a very discreet person anyway. I'm very private. Moments like that, I would love for it to be shared privately because it's very meaningful. And I just really love intimacy. So yeah, I would definitely go for private.
Okay, interesting. All right. Okay, next question. I think I kind of know the answer to this one, considering the answer of one of the previous ones, but we'll ask it anyways. Would you rather spend the day at an amusement park or lying on the beach? Crystal.
Oh God, this is not me because I don't do amusement parks. The beach is not my friend. So
the sun is not my friend.
If I had to choose one, I would choose amusement park because I love having fun, to be honest, So yeah, I'm all about the hype. So I definitely choose an amusement park. But if I really had to choose, I wouldn't want to do either, to be honest.
Boring.
So boring. I'll be friends with her.
No, because I don't go on any rides that you guys know. We went to Portugal, for God's sakes. I don't go on any rides because I'm a scaredy cat. You know what I mean? So that would be a waste to take me to an amusement park.
You a scaredy cat?
Wow. No, the only thing I'm afraid of is heights, okay? Other than that, I ain't afraid of nobody.
Yes, says the one.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Says the one who's on a plane like every month. I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, please. I get on the plane with my eyes closed, man. Don't watch that.
Like what pandemic? No pandemic.
No, but yeah, I don't get on any rides. And when it comes to the beach, my skin is very sensitive. You guys know this as well. My skin is very sensitive to heat. So I can't even be out in the sun like that. So, it is what it is, yo.
Olga?
Yeah, I'm all about fun, amusement parks, all me. That's me, definitely. Yeah. I like the beach as well, but there's more fun in amusement park. Like, come on.
No, I agree. You know what? I'm 50-50. I love the beach and I love being able to just lay there. And when I'm talking about going to the beach, I'm not talking about in Ireland or the UK. I'm more talking going to the likes of a hot, nice Spain, Portugal, Morocco, that kind of, go to a nice, proper Mediterranean beach and chill out there. I like that. But I do like to have fun as well. So I like both. So I don't think I can choose between the two. So
just bring the amusement park to the beach, man.
There you go. Make me happy. Okay. Another interesting one. Would you rather to age mentally or physically?
That's interesting.
Physically.
Olga, okay, go on.
Physically, that's my answer.
Okay.
Because I still want to have a sound mind to make decisions for myself and to live, a good life. So I would say physically.
Age physically. Okay, interesting. Crystal?
Yeah, I would choose physically as well. Because if I was to look around me, for example, if I chose mentally and I look around me and the people that I grew up with, you guys were aging physically and I wasn't, I would feel weird. I'd feel out of place. But then again, like Olga said, the mind gets wiser.
Yeah.
As it grows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think, to be honest, I'm just thinking of my mom. My mom looks bomb at her age. So I would want to age physically to look like my mom. So physically.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I'd much rather age physically. The mind is it's an interesting thing. So
with the way the mind ages, you can still make sound decisions because obviously you're getting wiser. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not too bad to age mentally either, is it?
No, it's not. But I guess it just depends on how that pans out.
Depends on how you look like when you age.
Ladies, when you say mentally, like, do you mean, God forbid, there's illnesses like dementia and Parkinson's? That's the worst thing that I can imagine, when you don't remember your friends. Or so for me, that's why I say I'd rather age physically. I don't know if I was to say to age mentally, what does that imply? What does that mean? Like, mentally losing my mind, you know what I mean? Not remembering things, having illness. So for me, I would rather say physically than that. The mind is precious.
Yeah, the mind is precious. Yeah, no, of course. Okay, that's all my questions. So over to you then, Olga.
Right, let's continue. Woo-hoo, this is fun. Okay, so first question. Oh, this is an interesting one. Now, ladies, think about this now. Think about this, okay? You're in a scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
You find out that your best friend's man is cheating on her. Would you tell your best friend? Crystal.
Hell no.
She's like, hell to the no.
That is not my business.
Elaborate.
I'll make sure he sees me so he knows I saw him, but I ain't telling nobody.
Okay,
nope.
okay.
I just feel like that's very it's very sensitive. It's not easy, you know what I mean, to just go and bring such information to your friend, because you don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, so I think it's something that you have to think twice about. Although we're talking about your best friend or whoever, it's still something you need to think twice about, because at the end of the day, it's not your relationship, regardless of
even
your
if it's
opinion
one of us.
You guys.
Yeah.
If it was you guys, man, hey, listen, I'll call you on FaceTime. Okay, I'm like, girl, look at your man.
she'll be in the bushes, girl. They're outside Nando's.
No, it's really sensitive. You have to kind of put yourself in your friend's shoes and think, would you want to know, or would you want to find out by yourself? You understand? It's a difficult one, but honestly, no, I wouldn't. I don't think I would bring that information to my friend.
I think if I were to answer that, I would say, like Crystal, Jen just asked there, I would say it depends on the person. Like, if it's one of us, I would probably think about it. I'd be like, okay, how am I going to approach this? If I told her, obviously, I may not tell you everything. I may try and, give you clues or whatever. But if it's a friend, like acquaintance, I wouldn't tell you. Like Crystal said, that's none of my business. You know what I mean? But if it was one of my sisters, I would actually think twice about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Olga, you saying that you wouldn't say everything. Why tell me if you're not going to tell me everything? Do you know what I mean? You might as well not just tell me.
No, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the person. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's say if I find out, and I know based on Crystal's personality, this is how she would take it if I brought it in this approach. So I think I would work on how I would tell them. Maybe I phrased that wrong to say I wouldn't tell them everything, but I would have to find a way of how I'm going to sit them down and talk to them. I wouldn't just be like, girl, I saw your husband or whatever. You know what I mean? I would find a way to sit down and speak to them, knowing the type of person that my sister is and how she would take it. And if I feel like, okay, it's too much, I wouldn't tell them. You know what I mean? Like, I say, okay, she may not take it the best way, or it might lead.
She may not believe it.
Maybe. That's why I say I have to really think about it, like to say, okay, do I really want to tell her how she would take it? So that's kind of me, I'm 50-50, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you. It depends.
It's hard.
Okay. I'm saying this because I've been in that situation before, where I've been cheated.
Do tell.
Yeah. So when I've been cheated on and I wasn't told, I found out for myself. And being honest, I would have rather that one of the friends that had known about it, I would have rather than they told me. The reason why I say that is because so many people knew about it, and I ended up looking like a fool because I didn't know about it. Do you get me? So having been in that situation, and again, I go back to, it depends on the friend that it is and the kind of relationship that we have. If it's one of you guys, I would tell you. I would find a way to do it. that would I wouldn't like all this. I wouldn't just come up and be like, oh, I saw your husband this. I would find a way to have that discussion with you, to let you know. If it's an acquaintances, I probably wouldn't outright say it, but maybe drop some hints, maybe. Again, because think about it, if I have seen it, who else has seen it? And let's be honest, our community talks. So especially if it's in our community, the whole world can know and you don't. And and we know what people are like. They'll start talking about you. Oh, you this, you that. How'd you not realize? So to spare that person, I would spill.
Yeah. Like, I think, yeah, it's kind of like Crystal says, and I understand what Crystal's saying, where it's like, she wouldn't, but it's not my business, because it could backfire on you. Because let's be honest, ladies, some women will be like, oh, you're just jealous of our relationship, or maybe you're the one trying to get with a man. So it could backfire on you. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, we know each other. So, for example, we know, like Genesis, we could tell her and say, oh, if there was that kind of a situation, we know how she would react. So it's about knowing your friends and knowing how they would react. And if you feel that you should tell them because you know them and how they would react to it, then do. If not, like Crystal said, it's not my business. And
listen, at the end of the day, if the person doesn't believe you, then that's fine. At least you know that you've said something. It's up to them what to do with that information at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, moving on to our next question. This one is a fun question. Okay, so here we go. So us ladies, okay, we plan a bank heist. Okay, so we have the van, we have the torches, we have the shovels, we have everything. We're not criminals, by the way, so this is a question. One of us gets caught, right? And our lawyer says that they will reduce our sentence if we give the names of who else was involved. Are you a snitch? Me, I am not a snitch, because snitches get ditches and snitches end up in ditches. What did I even say? Snitches get stitches and they end up in ditches. That's what I meant to say. So no, I would not snitch, because at the end of the day, right, if I go to prison, I'm going to come out eventually, and then I've ruined our friendship. So I don't want to lose my friendship. So I'm not going to snitch. Jen.
I ain't snitching on the condition that, right, y'all who got away and you got away with money, make sure my family's taken care of while I'm inside.
That's a good point. I've actually seen movies like that where the person comes out and they want their share of the money, and they're like, there's no money for you, so y'all better keep some money for me.
Exactly. So
Jen,
if I'm doing the time for y'all, then yes, I want to make sure I still get my cut and y'all looking after my responsibilities. If not, I'm snitching.
No one is snitching. Look at her face. Go on, Crystal.
Girl, bye. I'm snitching. I am snitching. I'm gonna sing like a bird. Because listen, if I say you guys keep my share of the money until I get out, mbongo is temptation. You guys be out there living life. We're all doing the time collectively. Like we collectively decided to do this bank heist. Okay, so I'm snitching. I'm singing like a bird.
Singing like a bird. Canary. Yes, of course you would. Of course you would. Okay, so ladies, last question. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one. So if you could for a day, right, would you rather read people's minds or be able to pause time? Now, if I could answer, reading people's mind can be a little dangerous, especially if I have to read Crystal's mind. I'm just going to put that out there. So you got to be careful. Do you really want to know what people are really thinking about you? Question mark. So for me, I would say I would rather pause time. You know, sometimes something happened and you're like, darn, I wish I could go back and change that. So, or pause and have more time, whatever, like we see in the movie. So for me, I would say pause time. Again, I would love also to read people's mind in certain situations, but it's a dangerous road venture. So I'm going to go with pause.
How long are we reading people's minds for?
for a day.
Okay.
Really, Jen?
Listen, I have to ask. I have to ask.
You might as well answer that.
Okay, well, listen, I'm choosing reading people's minds. Okay.
Really?
Yes. And the reason why is because when you said that question, it reminded me there's a movie with Taraji P. Henson where she's an agent and she's trying to sign this guy. I can't remember the name of the movie. I'll stick up a picture of it anyways. But she's trying to
sign What Men Think, I think.
Something like that. There you go. Yeah. And she basically has the gift of hearing people's thoughts. And like, listen, she is a ball when she can do that. Okay. And I'm just thinking of that movie. I'm like, yeah, I want to hear people's thoughts for a day. I want to see what they're thinking. And yeah, that's me. That's me. Time can keep on ticking on. I want to hear the thoughts.
Fair enough, Crystal.
I think I don't know. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose time, because being able to read people's minds might get a bit too much. Do you know what I mean? Unless I could read specific people's minds, then I would choose reading minds, you know, because I don't want to be, you know, reading my neighbor's mind, him talking about frying a sausage or something. Do you know what I mean? It just gets too much. Because even in the movie that Jen said, which is a really good movie, it got too much for her as well, because she can hear everybody's thoughts, you know, on the train, in the shops. So yeah, if I could read specific people's minds, then I would definitely choose that. But then again, if you pause time, then what?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Then what? Like, then what? You know?
So you know what? I would make sure if I could read people's minds, I'm gonna set up my day well. I'll go make sure I'm gonna be in certain places with people's minds so I can read those minds. So yeah. That's me.
But what? Oh, lightning. But let's say okay, you want to read people's mind, but then so what if you heard something you want to read people's mind? You heard something that you don't necessarily want to hear. How would you feel about?
But that's just the consequences of having that gift.
There's consequences for everything at the end of the day.
There's consequences for everything in life. So at least I know going into it, if I'm being able to read people's mind, I'm ready, or I'm preparing myself that I'm going to hear things I don't like and things I don't want to hear.
And what you may not like is maybe what you needed to know. So it could be beneficial either way.
So okay.
I'm still sticking with pause and time, but like Krista says, she has a point. If it's specific people, yes, I would. That's it, ladies. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again on this Melanin Meetings. I had so much fun. I don't know about you, ladies, but we had an amazing time with these questions. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share, and we'll see you on the next episode of Melanin Meetings. Bye.
Bye.